Y'all, the solo tax is real on cruise ships, so I was excited to book this solo Infinite Veranda on Celebrity Beyond for less than an interior cabin. But here's my question. Is it too small, and will I actually enjoy cruising in a smaller room? I do have a few concerns, but let's take a first look at my home for the next week.
I am staying in an Edge class Infinite Veranda balcony room, which is specifically for solo cruisers on celebrity ships. So the Edge class ships have these solo balcony rooms that are oftentimes cheaper even than an interior room. We all know I love to travel, and for long trips, I also pack a lot because I plan long trips. And so there are some compromises I had to make with this room in order to make it work for my budget, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to fit into it. So it's very similar to normal celebrity balcony rooms. I have stayed in one standard balcony like for 2 people or more. So we're gonna go ahead and do a tour of the room. I will say it's not perfectly clean yet. It says I'm almost ready, see you back at 1:30. So I'm doing a quick room tour before the steward comes back. We're gonna get a feel for the room, see what's what, and then all right, let's get into the tour. All right, so here is a full pan of the room. Front door, closets up there, cooler and a couple of shelves, the bed, and my little desk area. And of course, the Infinite Veranda. Here's something that I'm already liking about this room. I can walk around very easily. I'm not feeling cramped. It is small. I think the most cramped spot is walking past the bed, but I can do it like that, bending a little. Now, normally I don't have to do that in any of the other rooms, but it is more spacious than I expected, and that is a big plus. That was my second biggest concern, is how am I gonna be able to navigate around the room? Biggest concern is storage, but let's just do this tour and see what we're working with. All right, here is the entrance. And one thing about this room that I'm gonna miss from the full-size room that I had earlier, or in November, is this is the closet. You get basically half a closet because it's one person. One thing that I wish that Celebrity did that Carnival does is Carnival will have some shelving, but of course, this is a 1-person room anyway, so I don't know that there will be shelving. This is a great spot for my bags. I think that should be fixed. Okay, and then right off of the closet is our bathroom. Typically in a 2-person room, there will be shelves to either side of the mirror. So I have half the shelf space, those shelf spaces, and I don't need that. Cool, but there's some decent vanity space for me. And ignore the stuff on the bathroom mirror. I'm sure it's gonna get cleaned. If it's not, I'll let them know. But then I have space here, which I really appreciate. So that's gonna work. And the shower is still the same size, okay? So that's really nice as well. And it comes with body wash, shampoo, and hair conditioner. One thing I love is this digital control pad because you can set it for morning, movie, evening, and sleep. You can open and close the blinds from here, and you can do no light, half light, full light. I have full light in here. I have 1 lamp. I've got that, and I have that. I'm hoping that that's enough light for this room. Okay. Oh, and full-size mirror, nothing fancy, no frame or anything, but there you go. Woot. And again, I'm not feeling cramped, which is great. Now, to fake you out with that door, because this is the fridge. You apparently can ask for them to remove that stuff. I brought my own sodas for the beverage cooler, and I also ordered some Pellegrinos and waters. Instead of doing the non-alcoholic drink package this time, I'm testing out just ordering waters from them, which total cost about $70, bringing my own sodas and buying a specialty drink a day. That'll be cheaper than the drinks package. Then give me stuff I can take home if I wanted. And then I've got these 2 shelves and the safe. Look, I may not lock the safe and just keep some stuff in there to have some storage space. I don't bring anything safe worthy. Then we have 3 baby drawers right here. I normally like to store my laptop in a drawer. That is absolutely not happening, but I can keep it in the bag. This is good vanity space. Nice mirror here with some lighting. And then we move on to the bed. So this is not a king size bed, but it is a queen size bed, and that works perfectly for me. And then there's always space to store your luggage. Now, one really cool thing that I saw a cruiser post on a Facebook group about is that they will keep their big suitcase open under the bed and pull it out back and forth as drawer storage. So I'm also gonna try that and store my other smaller suitcases on the other side. So yeah, I got the vanity here and it works. I normally sleep on this side of the bed, so I can use that as my bedside table. Oh, and just so you know, here are some charging ports, outlet, the lovely television, and then bedside table with more charging ports. One thing that I found interesting, even in the 2-person room, only one side of the bed had an outlet and USB ports, and there are no USB-C ports, which I think is strange, but here's some extra storage space. Okay, so overall, in the main living space, I'm not feeling cramped. I think a big part of that has to do with this area. You have an open space. Like in the evening, one thing I love about celebrities, they do turn down service, so they will probably close this, and that's okay. It'll just make it feel cozy. They do like turn down or whatever. But this gives me extra living space, and I can enjoy a much wider feeling room. And I would watch vlogs and just repeat watching people walk through here to see how it's gonna be. And it is as tight as I thought it would be, but it's not uncomfortable. You know, with the Infinite Veranda, it is different than a balcony. I prefer, after having done the first Infinite Veranda, I prefer an actual balcony room to an Infinite Veranda. For this cruise, this solo edge stateroom was cheaper by a few $100s than even the interior stateroom, and definitely cheaper than like they have like a porthole balcony where there's an actual door to a balcony, and it's a big porthole with just a little bit of obstruction on the sides. So I went with this room, and I just, instead of thinking of it as a balcony room, I think of it as a solo room with a nice view. And I did not love letting down the window last time because it made the pane double blue. And so I couldn't see through it clearly like I could in a typical balcony. And I'd have to stand to see through it. So I just like to think of it as an ocean view room. So I came in with the expectation that I'm using this to be able to see outside because I prefer that to interior. And it was cheaper than an interior room anyway. And then I'm seeing if I can handle the trade-off of less space for a cheaper room. That's $1,900 for this room. So that's a good price to pay for this type of year, being a solo cruiser. All right, so I already mentioned that my first real concern was being able to navigate around in the room. A++, thumbs up, that's gonna work. I am worried about storage because the amount of stuff I have I don't know that I would do in like a solo room of this size after a 4 or 5 day trip beforehand. Again, you'll live and you learn. But I planned my wardrobe, my clothes, and I looked at so many videos to see how many drawers I would have. I planned it out meticulously in my mind. Okay, so that's my second big concern. I won't know until I have a chance to unpack if it's gonna work out, but I hope it does, you know. The third one, so the first Infinite Veranda I did was a 2-person room, and I had no issues with the room cooling off and anything like that. So I feel like with a smaller space, it should be okay. I don't know, that's a concern, to see how hot it gets and how well it cools off in the evening. The last cruise that I did was in November. This is April, so it's gonna be warmer. Those are my main concerns. The first one, seeing if my plan for storage actually works. I'm able to fit everything and navigate once the room is fully unpacked. Will it end up being too hot this time of year? And overall, will I be comfortable and enjoy being in this room? What I wish that I don't know, like I've stayed in 2 interior rooms, but I was traveling with my parents. I did spend a lot of time out on the deck. So it was nice coming into an interior quiet room where everything was muffled out. Because I love to be out and about on the ship, but when I'm traveling solo, there's just something about having connection to the outside world that matters to me. So maybe it won't matter as much as I think it will. Who knows? Okay, that's the end of the room tour. I'm going to unpack later and spend a few days testing out the room, living in it, seeing what it feels like, and all that good stuff. And if you want the full review of what it's like to stay in this solo veranda room on a Celebrity Edge class ship, you can subscribe to the channel hit the notification bell, because later in the series, I will be doing a full review of my whole cruise experience, including this. And I'm also going to record a video about hacking for small cabins and cabin organization. So people who are staying in, because there are solo rooms that are smaller than this, or people who are traveling with 4 folks and have less space per person than I have in this whole room. I've learned some hacks that I'm testing out and some that are tried and true that really help with dealing with the small space of a cruise cabin. Those are all coming up if they're not already posted, because sometimes I forget to order the videos going up. That being said, this has been a good one. Hopefully it helps you plan. And as always, remember, a life well lived is a life well traveled. So travel well, my dear, and we'll catch you in the next one.